So tell us about metaphors. You just said how we as human beings need them. I think the way I like to say is that, we don't have words to describe a sunrise or a sunset, let alone
Mm,
describe the intricate journey of life or our
mm,
experience with God. Words fail us, and yet words are also the most complete way that we can describe our
mm.
experiences as well. So tell us about metaphors, and then maybe give us an example of what you are walking us through with one of them in your book.
So I think that as human beings, we have a desire to put things into words, and it's really important that we can put things into words, that we can. I think the reason that's important is that when we have experiences, we want to be able to talk about them with other people and to understand them. But when you have an experience like love or loss, in a way, it's kind of it's not abstract. It is a part of our experience, but it's not something you can point to and say that's what love exactly looks like. Can't quantify it. So it's this kind of invisible thing. So metaphors are the things that we reach for to kind of give a shape to invisible things. So they're the tangible and the visible things that we use to describe our kind of intangible and invisible experiences that are important to us. So an example of that I had fun writing about in the book is the idea of wisdom, which we use the language of light for. And you may think, I don't use the language of light. I don't use the metaphor of light for wisdom. But it's all in all the words we use to talk about wisdom or knowledge. So we might say, oh, that was an illuminating conversation I had on the Gospel Spice podcast. And that word illuminating is it's a light metaphor that by on this conversation we learned something was cast light on. Or we can talk about lucidity. When someone thinks clearly, that is a word that means light. Or we can talk about someone being a bit dim. And if we say that, we mean that they're kind of stupid. But by stupid, we use the language of not having very much light, that they're not very wise. And that's an example of wisdom is something kind of, it's not just a list of things we know. We know that there's kind of something amorphous, mysterious about wisdom. And so we use the language of light to describe it because it casts a vision of what wisdom is like, that it gives us a path to walk on, right? Light shows us where we should go. And if someone's wise, they see clearly and they know where they should go and how they should proceed. And it also brings out other aspects of wisdom, like that wisdom is something that's not just acquired, right? Wisdom isn't just I learned a whole bunch of facts. It's a gift that orients me, right? It's something that when scripture says that the beginning of wisdom is to get wisdom, it's the sense that to be wise, you have to face wisdom and let it kind of cast its rays on you so know where you go. So I think that there's this relationship between the external world, that we have these experiences and that we use those experiences to describe things that are maybe invisible or interior. But that in doing that, we then see things we wouldn't have noticed, both in the physical world and in the invisible world.